My child, stop for a moment. Do not scroll past this, and do not let your attention wander, because you did not arrive here by accident. You may think you clicked on this, or that an algorithm brought you here, but that is only what your eyes can see. In the unseen realm, a call has been sent out to your spirit, and you are here because you answered it. Even if you don't fully understand why, yet I need you to listen closely, because we are about to confront something that has been quietly following you, shadowing your steps, and clouding your mind for far longer than you realize. There is a heaviness you have been carrying. You have felt it when you wake up in the morning, a subtle weight that sits on your chest before your feet even touch the floor. You have felt it in the middle of the day, a sudden wave of exhaustion that has nothing to do with how much sleep you got or how much work you did. It is a strange, lingering drain that makes you feel disconnected from your own life, as if you are watching yourself go through the motions rather than actually living them. You have told yourself it is just stress. You have told yourself it is just the pressure of the world, or that you are just going through a phase. But deep down, in the quietest part of your soul, you know it is something else. What I am revealing to you today is that you are currently the target of a scam. But this is not the kind of scam you hear about on the news. It is not an attack on your bank account, your passwords, or your material possessions. Those things are temporary. They can be replaced. This deception is far more dangerous because it targets the only thing you truly own: your spirit, your attention, and your connection to the source of your peace. The enemy does not need to destroy your life with a single catastrophic event. That is too loud. That wakes you up. Instead, he uses a strategy of silence and slow erosion. He has been stealing from you one thought at a time, one worry at a time, one distraction at a time, until you look up and realize you no longer recognize the person in the mirror. Think about the fog that has settled over your mind lately. You have moments where you cannot seem to think clearly, where making even a simple decision feels like climbing a mountain. You have moments where you sit down to rest, but your mind begins to race at 100 miles per hour, replaying conversations from years ago, worrying about futures that haven't happened, and obsessing over scenarios that do not exist. This mental noise is not a malfunction of your brain, it is a calculated interference. The deception works by keeping you so mentally cluttered that you cannot hear your own intuition, and you certainly cannot hear my whisper. You have been living in a state of survival, mistaking it for living. You have accepted anxiety as a personality trait. You have accepted constant fatigue as a lifestyle. You have accepted feeling scattered as your normal state of being. But I am here to tell you that none of this is normal. You were not created to burn out. You were not created to live with a knot in your stomach. You were not created to be a vessel for worry. The reason you feel this friction, this internal ache that won't go away, is because your spirit is trying to reject the lies you have been fed. Your soul is allergic to this fake life, and that discomfort you feel is actually a sign of your spiritual health fighting back. I want you to take a deep breath right now. If you are feeling this resonate in your chest, if you feel a sudden emotion rising up as you hear these words, it is because the veil is being lifted. The scam thrives on your ignorance. It works best when you don't know it's happening. But the moment you see it, the moment you name it, it begins to lose its power. I need you to solidify this moment of awakening. I want you to leave a comment below saying, "I am waking up," or "My eyes are opening." Do this not for the sake of others, but as a physical act of declaring to the unseen world that you are no longer a passive victim of this deception. Let your words be the first step in breaking the cycle. This thief of your peace has been relying on your busyness. He knows that if he can keep you scrolling, keep you rushing, and keep you overstimulated, you will never pause long enough to realize how empty you feel. He fills your silence with noise, because silence is where you find your strength again. Have you noticed how uncomfortable silence has become for you? Have you noticed the urge to immediately grab your phone the moment there is a pause in your day? That is the conditioning of the scam. It is training you to fear the very stillness that would heal you. But today, we are drawing a line in the sand. You are beginning to understand that the confusion you felt wasn't because you are broken. It was because you were being jammed by a frequency of fear and distraction. You have been carrying weights that were never yours to hold. You have been fighting a battle with your eyes closed, swinging at shadows while the real enemy sat quietly in the corner of your mind, whispering doubts that sounded like your own voice. This is only the beginning of the realization. You have felt like you are losing yourself, but my child, you are actually on the verge of finding yourself in a way you never have before. The fog is thickest right before it lifts. The night is darkest right before the dawn. You are not crazy and you are not alone. Something large is shifting, and now that you have stopped to listen, we can begin the work of untangling your soul from this web. Stay with me, for there is so much more to uncover about how this has affected your heart and your relationships. The awakening has started. My child, now that your eyes have begun to open, we must go deeper into how this deception actually operates. You need to understand that this scam working against you is not a single dramatic event. It is not one bad day or one sudden tragedy. If it were that obvious, you would have fought back immediately. Instead, it is a pattern, a slow drip, a constant pulling that is so subtle you barely notice it happening. It is a voice that does not shout but whispers, a presence that does not push you into destruction but gently nudges you away from your own center, inch by inch, day by day. You think you are strong enough to handle everything. You think you're aware of your surroundings. Yet the very thing draining you has been sitting beside you every single day, wrapped in the disguise of normality. The enemy knows that he cannot destroy you when you are fully aware and rested. So his strategy is not to attack you with darkness, but to drown you in busyness. He targets your attention because your attention is the currency of your life. If he can keep your mind spinning with responsibilities, if he can keep your emotions tangled in drama that isn't yours, if he can keep your eyes glued to screens seeing everyone else's highlight reels, then he has you exactly where he wants you, distracted. He doesn't need to break you, he just needs to keep you distracted long enough that you break yourself. He feeds you noise disguised as relevance and chaos disguised as productivity. Think about the silence. When was the last time you sat in true, comfortable silence? The scammer is terrified of your silence because silence is where I speak. Silence is where your spirit breathes, where your heart reconnects, and where your power returns. That is why your life has been filled with constant noise, the scrolling, the overthinking, the rushing. The enemy has filled your days with so much clutter that you have forgotten what clarity feels like. You have been running on a treadmill that never stops, thinking that if you just run faster, you will finally catch up to your peace. But peace is not found in the chase, it is found in the stillness you have been avoiding. This is why you feel tired, even after a full night's sleep. You have been experiencing a fatigue that coffee cannot fix, because it is not physical tiredness, it is spiritual exhaustion. You have been carrying the weight of emotions that do not belong to you. You have been trying to fix situations that were never yours to fix. This brings us to one of the most painful parts of this scam, the way your kindness has been weaponized against you. You have always been a giver. You care deeply, you love honestly, and you trust openly. But this purity in your heart has made you a target for manipulation disguised as connection. You have been giving your energy to people who do not appreciate it, and you have called it love. You have been answering calls you did not want to answer, replying to messages out of pure obligation, and pouring your soul into cups that have holes in the bottom. You have been holding on to connections that drain you, trying to heal people who are not ready to be healed, and wondering why you feel so empty at the end of the day. My child, listen to me. You have been sacrificing your peace for people who never offered you theirs. You have been misinterpreting your lack of boundaries for patience. The scam convinced you that saying no was mean. It convinced you that protecting your energy was selfish. It made you believe that if you just gave a little more, if you just explained yourself one more time, if you just tried a little harder, things would change. But you are realizing now that some doors were meant to stay closed. You are realizing that you have been watering dead plants, hoping they would bloom. This emotional drainage is not an accident. It is a theft. It is designed to leave you so depleted that you have nothing left for your own purpose, nothing left for your own dreams, and nothing left for your relationship with me. I want you to pause and feel the weight of this truth. If you are recognizing these patterns in your relationships and your daily habits, I need you to confirm it. Leave a comment below declaring, "I am reclaiming my energy," or "I am finished with the drainage." Let this be your contract with yourself. By speaking it, you are breaking the agreement you made with the deception. You are telling the unseen world that your kindness is no longer for sale and your peace is no longer up for negotiation. You have been overwhelmed by a world designed to drown out your spirit. But the tide is turning. You are beginning to see that the restlessness you felt wasn't weakness, it was your spirit resisting the scam. It was your soul starving for stillness. The enemy used your empathy as an entry point, but today we are closing that door. We are not becoming cold. We are becoming wise. We are not stopping love. We are starting self-respect. You are not losing friends. You are losing dead weight. As we move forward, we are going to explore exactly how to walk into this new season of aloneness, not loneliness, but a powerful solitude where you will be rebuilt. The restoration is only just beginning. My child, as we move further into the light, we must address the most difficult part of this unveiling, the empty spaces that have started to appear in your life. You have been feeling a shift in your relationships. A strange distance growing between you and people you once thought would be there forever. You have experienced sudden silences, unexplained departures, and a feeling of disconnection that has left you confused and hurt. You have blamed yourself, wondering if you did something wrong or if you were simply not enough to make them stay. But I need you to listen to me clearly. I am removing certain people from your life, not to punish you, but to protect you. That disconnection you felt was not rejection, it was redirection. That silence you received was not failure, it was clarity. That distance growing between you and certain individuals was not a coincidence, it was a divine intervention. I am deliberately pulling you away from those who feed the noise in your life. I am drawing you away from those who drain your strength and separating you from the influences that keep your spirit restless. You have been chasing people who refuse to choose you and fighting for connections that leave you empty. You have been investing in relationships that drain your peace and apologizing for wanting the same effort you give. You must stop forcing what is not meant for you. The scam convinced you that being alone was a sign of unworthiness. It made you terrified of solitude, so you filled your life with people who did not value you, just to avoid the quiet. But now, I am calling you into a season of aloneness. Do not mistake this for loneliness. There is a massive difference. Loneliness is emptiness. Aloneness is rebuilding. Loneliness drains you. Aloneness strengthens you. Loneliness breaks the heart. Aloneness awakens the spirit. This season of isolation is not a punishment for your past. It is the preparation for your future. It is in this space, stripped of the distractions and the demands of others, that you will finally rediscover yourself. When you stop giving pieces of yourself away to everyone else, you finally have enough energy left to rebuild your own soul. You will learn who you are when no one is watching and no one is demanding your attention. You will hear me clearly when the noise is finally gone. You will feel your spirit breathe again when the weight of other people's expectations is lifted. You will remember your true worth when you stop begging for love in empty places. This time alone is not a loss, it is your rebirth. Something powerful is coming, my child. Something transformative that will shake you awake in the best possible way. You are about to reach a point where you can no longer stay silent about your purpose. You will feel a fire rise inside you that will not let you stay small any longer. You will feel strength return to you piece by piece, and clarity will sharpen your vision again. You will feel confidence rebuild your identity, and peace will anchor you in ways you haven't felt in years. This is why I needed to expose the scam of distraction and emotional theft. Because the new season coming toward you cannot exist in the same space as the deception that drained you. The next chapter of your life requires a restored version of you. It requires a version with clear eyes, a steady heart, and a quiet spirit. It requires a version who can hear me without the interference of the world's noise. This new you will walk with intention, not confusion. You will recognize manipulation immediately and refuse to engage with it. You will protect your peace ferociously. You will no longer tolerate inconsistency from others. You will refuse to shrink yourself just to make others feel comfortable. This transformation is beginning right now, in this very moment. The scam targeted the old you, the one who was desperate for approval and afraid of silence. But the new you cannot be deceived, because the new you knows the truth. The enemy is terrified of this version of you. He knew that if you ever realized your own value, his game would be over. That is why he worked so hard to keep you tired, to keep you surrounded by wrong people, and to keep you doubting yourself. But the fog is lifting and the deception is cracking. You are stepping out of survival mode and into your true power. I want you to embrace this season of solitude. Do not run from it. Do not try to fill it with new distractions. Sit in it. Let it heal you. If you are ready to accept this season of rebuilding, I want you to declare it. Leave a comment below saying, "I accept my season of growth," or "I am becoming the new me." Let this be a signal that you are no longer afraid of being alone, because you know that in this aloneness, you are finding the strength you lost. We are nearing the end of this revelation, but there is one final layer we must uncover regarding your mind and the specific emotional battles you have fought. The restoration is almost complete, but we must seal it with the final truth about your identity. My child, now that the fog around you is finally lifting and your heart is beginning to understand what has been happening to you, we must descend into the deepest layer of this deception. This is the place where the battle has been the fiercest, yet the most invisible. We must talk about the war for your mind and the strategic attack on your self-worth. You have been walking through your days feeling unstable, with your emotions shifting suddenly, rising and falling like unpredictable waves. One moment you feel sharp and ready to take on the world, and the next, a heavy fog rolls in, leaving you confused and lethargic. You have questioned your own sanity. You have wondered why you can't simply hold it together like everyone else seems to do. But I am here to tell you that you are not imagining it, you are not overthinking, and you are certainly not broken. The scam affecting you right now has had one primary goal: to make you doubt your own value so deeply that you silence yourself. The enemy knows something that you have forgotten. Your clarity is dangerous to his darkness. When your mind is at peace, your spirit becomes powerful. When your heart is quiet, your intuition becomes sharp enough to slice through any lie. Therefore, the deception had to be internal. It had to make you believe that the problem was you. It whispered insecurities that sounded exactly like your own inner voice, telling you that you are not enough, that you are behind, that you are invisible, and that your efforts do not matter. Think about how often in the last few months you have felt a deep, aching sense of being unappreciated. You have walked into rooms and felt like a ghost, as if your presence made no impact. You have poured your love into people and projects, only to feel overlooked and undervalued. These feelings did not rise up because you are actually worthless. They were planted there to keep you submissive. If the enemy can lower your self-esteem, he can silence your spirit. If he can make you feel insecure, he can drain your confidence so that you never step into the purpose I have designed for you. He wants you to believe you are small so that you never realize how big you truly are. You have been doubting yourself more than usual, second-guessing decisions that should have been easy. You start things with passion but lose interest quickly, not because you are lazy but because your spiritual energy is being siphoned off before you can finish. You make a decision, but then a wave of anxiety hits you, causing you to rethink everything. This bouncing back and forth, this constant state of mental flux, is not a personality flaw. It is spiritual interference. Your mind has been receiving too many signals at once. Too many voices, too many fears, too many expectations, and too many pressures from a world that does not know how to be still. Your mind has been in survival mode, running from noise that never belonged to you. But, my child, listen to me louder than every lie you have been fed. You are not replaceable. You are not forgettable. You are not ordinary. You carry a light inside you that others cannot imitate because it comes directly from the source of all life. You carry a strength that others do not see because you have used it just to survive the silent battles nobody else knew you were fighting. You have a purpose that cannot be stolen, no matter how much time you think you have wasted. The scammer tried to bury you under insecurity, but he failed to realize that you are a seed. The pressure did not crush you, it only prepared you to grow. I am now restoring your mind. I am quieting the storm that has been raging between your ears. I am filtering out the static so that you can finally hear the sound of your own soul again. You are going to feel a shift in the coming days. It will start physically. You will notice your breathing is deeper. You will notice the knot in your stomach loosening. You will notice that the opinions of others, which used to weigh so heavily on you, suddenly feel light and irrelevant. This is the restoration taking hold. The mental chatter is dying down, and the truth is stepping forward. A transformation is rising within you that is absolute and irreversible. You are becoming the strongest version of yourself you have ever known. This new version of you will no longer tolerate disrespect because you finally understand your own value. You will no longer ignore red flags in relationships because your intuition is no longer clouded by loneliness. You will no longer chase inconsistency because you know you deserve stability. You will no longer shrink yourself to fit into places that are too small for your spirit. You will no longer apologize for having a sensitive heart, for that sensitivity is your superpower, not your weakness. The season of being a victim to this invisible scam is over. You are rising. You are standing tall in your own light. You are reclaiming your peace with a ferocity that will surprise even you. You are protecting your spirit like the sacred territory it is. The enemy targeted the old you, the confused you, the tired you. But the new you cannot be deceived. The new you sees everything. The new you walks with intention. The new you is awake. My child, this message was long because the deception was deep, but now the work is done. The curtain has been pulled back. You know the truth. You know that the exhaustion was a theft, the confusion was a tactic, and the loneliness was a preparation. You are ready to walk forward, not as a survivor of the scam, but as a warrior who conquered it. Walk in this new clarity, breathe in this new peace. You are free. If this message has unlocked something in your spirit, if you feel the chains falling off and the light returning to your eyes, I ask you to take one final action. Do not let this moment pass without anchoring yourself in this community of truth. Click the subscribe button right now. By doing so, you are not just following a channel, you are joining a tribe of souls who are waking up, who are refusing the noise, and who are choosing the light. Subscribe so that you never miss a reminder of who you truly are. We are walking this path together, and I want you with us for the next revelation. Welcome home.